I'm Jason Little, and this is 10 minutes off the top of my head. 43 days into the Trump administration, and the world as we know it is over. Because Jeff Sessions had a conversation with the Russians! The Russians! Ladies and gentlemen, this has to be one of the biggest fake news stories that they've come up with up to now. And it seems to be a daily thing. Yesterday they had fake news. Today they got more fake news, and it's bigger and badder and dumber than ever. You remember way back when, a long time ago, back in the beginning, the first 2 weeks of President Trump's administration, when General Flynn was fired. Trump said, "You fired." Fake news. And I'm going to tell you something. Trump should have never, ever, he shouldn't have fired that dude. He should have said, "Look, I'm not going to let you advise me. You can go and sweep the floors. I'm not going to accept your resignation. You're not going to resign. You're not going to be fired," or whatever. He could have had him do whatever. He could have still had him. Look, you don't have to take the guy's advice. Don't get rid of him. You put blood in the water for the Democrats and the Republicans. Hey, what's the difference between Democrats and Republicans? The way you spell it. That's about it. And the fact of the matter is, folks, is that this is not, we're not in an ideological battle between Democrats and Republicans. There's very, very little difference between the two parties. When you get down to, now the platforms, yes, there's a big difference. But when you get down to it, the way that they act, the way that they conduct business, the way that they don't answer questions, the way that they actually write policy and laws, the way that they do things, there's very, very little difference between Republicans and Democrats. Except Republicans don't know how to win. Now, I want you to think about this. We had an election in 1992, and Bill Clinton became president. In 1994, Republicans took control of the Congress. In 1996, I believe that's when they took control of the Senate as well. So 92, the Congress, 96, the Senate, and then in 2000, we got the president. 1999, Bush became president, right? He was elected president. President, Senate, Congress. We had all three. What changed in 2000 to 2004? Nothing. Nothing changed. Bush, he was a horrible president. You don't believe me? Go back and look. I don't care about 9/11 and all that crap. He was a horrible president. He botched that thing too, because he got us into a war with nobody that mattered. Oh, it's so frustrating. It is so frustrating. 2000 we win. 2004 we win. Now, let me back up. 1994 we win. 1996 we win. 2000 we win. 2004 we win. 2010 we win. 2014 we win. 2017 we win. But we don't know how to win. We don't know how to act like winners, the Republicans. And I've got a theory on this, and I believe that it's true. The reason that we don't know how to win or how to act like winners is because there's very little difference between a Republican and a Democrat. They're fighting for the same goal. They're trying to drive the United States of America off the cliff. Now, the Republicans want to do it a little bit slower than the Democrats, but the ultimate goal is to get us off the cliff. Now, what is the cliff? The cliff is globalism. They're trying to turn us into a global friendly world. And that is not where we, the people, want to go, and that's not where we want to be. Now, you can call me crazy, and you can call me a kook, and you can call me a radical. I really don't care. But the fact of the matter is that globalists are actively trying to bring about the rise of the Antichrist. oh, you're crazy, man. You're just one of those religious nut jobs. No, I'm not a religious nut job because I am not a Muslim. Oh, I'll tell you what. Read the Bible. Read the book of Revelation. Read about the Antichrist. Read about globalism in the book of Revelation. These globalists are trying to create a one world government. Well, we've got somebody in office, and I don't care what you think about him. We got somebody in office right now who is not a globalist. He does not believe in their philosophies. He does not believe in their globalist religion. He is I believe, a Christian and a true American patriot. And he is trying to bring this country back to what it should be, back to what it should have been after the great successes that we had in the 20th century. But the globalists don't want to see a great America. The globalists don't want to see a prosperous America. The globalists don't want to see a safe America. The globalists don't want to see a great America. They want America put in its place, which is exactly what Barack Obama was doing in the 8 years of his presidency, which, by the way, is exactly what George W. Bush was doing during the 8 years of his presidency, and exactly what Bill Clinton was doing during the 8 years of his presidency, and exactly what George H.W. Bush was doing during the 4 lousy years of his stinking presidency. Globalists, every single one of those guys. And Bush set the Republican Party back with his horrible policies. What horrible policies are those? I thought Bush was a good guy. Well, one horrible policy was going to war in Iraq. Another horrible policy was going to war in Afghanistan. 2 stupid things that we did that we should have never done. Wasting lives and men and women for no reason. No reason. What's different today than 15, 16 years ago? Nothing. Nothing is different in the Middle East. It's always going to be in turmoil. It's always going to be in warfare. There's always going to be problems there. What have we solved? Nothing. Everybody always talks about peace in the Middle East. It's never going to happen. I'll tell you other policies is when Bush federalized education. And our schools at that point, more than ever before, became indoctrination centers for the government. My son, the other day in school, he told me that they watched a film on how peaceful Africa is, the continent of Africa and the people of Africa, how peaceful that they are, and how good they are, and how the evil Europeans created all the conflict and problems in Africa and enslaved the poor Africans. The truth of the matter is that the Europeans didn't do that. You know what? I'm going to save that for another video. But we looked up, and there were war upon war upon war upon war upon war, and everybody forgets in Rwanda a few years ago, back during the Clinton administration, when the Hutus and the Tutsis were fighting each other over the shape of their nose, and there was mass genocide, and I can't remember how many, but I believe it was over 1 million people died. Yeah, real peaceful. Anyway, back to America, back to politics, back to what's really going on here. Jeff Sessions, you're a fool. You're an idiot, man. How in the world? You know what? I wish you would resign because you're worthless. You recused yourself yesterday of anything, any investigation. You're the Attorney General, man. You are the #1 law enforcement official in the country, and you just said, I'm not going to have anything to do with the investigation over Trump and the Russians. You know how guilty that makes you look, dude? And I don't believe you did anything wrong. Did you know that he also recused himself over any investigations with Hillary Clinton? Why don't we just, look, President Trump, I love you, man. I think you're great. But why don't you just resign, call up Chuck Schumer, and tell him he can be president? Because that's what the Democrats really want. And it doesn't have to be Chuck. It could be Nancy Pelosi. It could be Debbie Wasserman Schultz. It could be whoever, man. Whoever. Go dig Michael Dukakis up wherever he is. I don't even know if he's still alive. And let him be freaking president. He has more integrity than all of you Democrats put together. And that dude has no integrity. Wow. My time is gone, man. I got like 6 seconds left. But I've got so much more to say about this. The Republicans You don't know how to win. You better start learning, or you're going to drive this country in off the cliff. Off the cliff. All right, that's it. That's my time. God bless you. See you on the next video, which I'm going to make right this minute.